Hello, good day. This is Attorney Joshua Alim. Welcome back to my Facebook and YouTube channel. And I was out for so many months, 2 months, I think. It's because of my hectic schedule as the president of the CPU Alumni Association Incorporated, and because we have just concluded the global reunion of the CPU alumni. And on top of that, my court appearances as the practicing lawyer here in Iloilo City. However, I have to take time to give my advice to those people who really have to seek my legal advice regarding some matters which they think very important and urgent on their part. And I hope you're fine and hope you are okay today. And this is the question. It's all about the financial support from biological father. Biological father. This is with a premise that the father has acknowledged his child. Now the question is, my daughter receives financial support of 3,000 to 4,500 pesos a month from her father, and according to her, it's no longer enough for her needs as he is turning 3 and will soon be going to school. Question, is it possible to make my daughter's financial support from her father mandatory and automatic? How should I go about it? Additional question. Do I need to send him a demand letter, meaning the father? What is the minimum amount of support that my daughter is entitled to recover from her biological father? The question is anchored on the issue of the mother's child's entitlement for support from his biological father. Before we give our legal opinion, it is necessary for purposes of discussion and of informing our viewers to explain the concept of obligation, because that support is an obligation of the father towards his daughter. Support under the family code, specifically under Article 194, comprise everything indispensable for sustenance, dwelling, clothing, medical attendance, education, and transportation in keeping with the financial capacity of the family. Now, in Article 195, the following persons are obliged to support each other. One, the spouses, legitimate ascendants and descendants, parents and their legitimate children, and so forth. Now, take note, this is very important. The amount of support shall be proportioned to the resources or means of the giver, to the necessities and to the necessities of the recipient. Meaning is, you cannot demand more than what the giver or the father can produce. And you cannot ask also more than what the daughter needs. In other words, the support to be given depends on the financial capacity of the person obliged to give support and on the needs of the beneficiary. Hindi naman mag-abusar. It's not open for abuse. Like the mother will just keep on demanding higher amount of support beyond the means that the giver or the father can provide, and also very way up from the needs or necessities of the daughter or the son. This is eventually left to the sound discretion of the court, especially if the giver does not agree to the amount being requested from him as support. So preliminaries, you send demand letter to the father for support, and you demand for how much? How much is the needs of your daughter, of the father's daughter? Okay? So, pag mag-agree, no problem. However, the problem is if the father will not agree, or the worst, if the father will neglect or refuse to support his biological daughter or son. That's the problem. So what's the solution? File a case in court. Now, the person obliged to give support has two options. Meaning the father has the option one, for fulfilling his obligation towards his daughter. He may either pay fixed allowance or receive one fixed allowance Like, the father will promise or agree to give allowance of 10,000 a month to his biological child, depending on the capacity of the father. But if he agrees on that voluntarily, that's be it. Or the second option is, he will maintain or receive and maintain in the family dwelling the person who has the right to receive support. That is possible. Meaning, kunin niya yung tao, yung anak, para itira sa kanilang bahay para bigyan ng support. The problem, however, is it is legally possible. Because as I've said, baka or maybe he has his own family. You see, you get the point. Or it's not possible legally. Now, based on the question, on the basis and assuming that your daughter was recognized, I said earlier, on the basis and assuming that your daughter was recognized by her father as his, you may ask the father to fulfill obligation to your daughter or demand from him the commensurate amount of support equivalent to your daughter's needs. If this falls on deaf ears, hindi pinansin, in-ignore ng tatay ng anak mo, you may ask for the aid of the court, meaning you ask for court's assistance. What do you mean by this? You file a case against the father. If you don't have money, go to the public attorney's office or the IBP, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, of your chapter, legal aid department of the IBP. They will going to help you. By filing action for support against the father of your debtor and to oblige him to provide the exact amount your child needs. Take note, exact amount your child needs. The court will have to determine whether the amount being asked is not exorbitant. It's the court will really determine if your demand is not exorbitant or mas mataas, and whether it is in keeping with the financial capacity of the father of your child. Now, once a decision is rendered by the court, the award of support becomes mandatory. And failure to perform this obligation may give rise to the exercise by the court of the power to cite the father of your debtor in contempt and to attach or levy some of his properties in order to satisfy this judgment. Meaning, pag may property siya, i-attach kunin ng court, the court will get it by legal processes, and then the price will apply to your obligation or the obligation of the husband or the father to his biological son or daughter. Wala siyang palag. So that is very important because you need the assistance of the court. If you have the money, you go to the public attorney's office of the place or to the IBP, Integrated Bar of the Philippines Legal Aid Department. You can do it. If you have the right, fight for it. You fight for your right. That is very important. Don't sleep in your right. Stand up, rise up, and fight for your right. I hope I have made this clear, and I hope our leaders in there have been properly appraised of her right. I really have to borrow to acknowledge the opinion or the idea of the PAO National Chairman, Attorney Acosta. One of those, I did a research on his opinion about these things because he's an expert and the head of the public attorney's office. So I hope I made this clear. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I am Attorney Joshua Alim. God bless Iloilo City. Thank you.